On January 15th, I asked everyone on my community board on YouTube if you could give me any kind of suggestions to make a video. And a lot of you did, and thank you so much. Today, I'm gonna make a video from one of your suggestions. So counterintuitive. How is trading counterintuitive? When you first start trading, how many times have you bought something because it was going up? And you're like, oh, I gotta buy it because it's going higher, right? And then what happens? It comes back down, you're like, oh, shit. Why the heck did I do that? You can take a loss. And then when you take that loss, it goes back up. And you're like, oh, I gotta get back in. And then you get back in, and then it goes all the way back down. You're like, I gotta keep this 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it goes, then you sell, and then it goes all the way back up. That is so frustrating. And how scary is it whenever you have to buy it when it's coming down? It's freaking scary, right? Because you don't know if it's gonna work. At the end of the day, you have no clue if it's gonna work. But you see videos like mine about the support and resistance and how to buy something. You wanna buy at the support when it's coming down. And why is it so hard to buy there? Because it's counterintuitive. You know, you wanna buy when you see it working rather than when you see it coming down. That's so challenging for people. And it was such a challenge for me. In fact, I wasn't able to buy at all when it was coming down for the longest time. I would always buy it after it showed me that it was working. And then I would have a a bad average. And when I had a bad average, I'd still make profits, but just not as much. Or maybe I had a bad average because I chased it a little further than I wanted, and then it came back down and I didn't get out, but I was freaking out because I was gonna be wrong. You need to get rid of this. And how I did it is making sure I downsized dramatically, where it didn't matter if I won money or lost money, because all you're trying to do is build the habit of doing something that your mind's saying don't do because you're scared. And you don't want to be scared of hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe, and hitting the bell, because you want to be notified for future content. You know what I'm saying? You know why it's so scary to buy when it's coming down? For me, I don't know about you, but it wasn't really losing, because when I downsized dramatically where wins didn't matter, like if you won $10 max. Even if you got 3-1. If you lost $1. It didn't matter to me though, because I started to realize something. I hated being wrong, because you're buying at support. So you're gonna know right in a second if you're right or wrong. If you wait after it goes and you're like, oh, I may be right, let me get in. But if you buy at support, you're gonna know very quickly if you're right or wrong. And if you practice that habit, that's counterintuitive. It's not what you normally would do. How many times have you also you know that you shouldn't hold something against your risk, but you do? How many times have you been in a stock and you said, I'm gonna get out if it breaks $1 because that means I'm wrong, and then you hold it because you start to hope, and then it may come back for you, and then you break even and you learn the wrong lesson? That's the worst thing you could do. Instead, when it breaks, you gotta get the heck out of there right away. There's no hoping. Get out, because if you don't get out, you can lose way more than you wanted to. And most people want to hold and hope. The better traders cut it no matter what. I want to pose a quick challenge for you. I want you to try the next time you draw key areas of support, trend lines, whatever you use, VWAP, and you develop a plan. Put your order where you know you should be entering at, and just let it sit there. And whatever size you think you should use, cut that in half. Matter of fact, cut that in half again, because I want you to be able to live with that price. And when it gets executed, make sure you cut it as soon as it breaks your level. You'll know right away. But if it doesn't break your level and it goes up higher, great. But I want you to continue to do this over and over for at least a month. And don't worry about making money. Just focus on getting rid of that habit of chasing stocks, of getting excited. Because if you do that, you will build that counterintuitive mindset that you need to be successful. Instead of chasing, you're buying when everyone else is running.